Today we're going to graph tangent and cotangent functions. So we're going to start by graphing tangent of x. So I'm going to make a t-chart, plug some points in to help us figure out what this graph is going to look like. So I'm going to start with x is 0. Tangent of 0 is 0. That's just one that you should know. Next one I'm going to use pi over 4. Pi over 4 is 45 degrees. We pull from the first quadrant. 45, 45, 90 triangle. 1, 1, root 2, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent of pi over 4 is 1. Tangent of pi over 2 is undefined. So what that looks like on your graph is you're going to have an asymptote at pi over 2. Next one I'm going to do is 3 pi over 4, which is 45 degrees. It's just in the second quadrant. So it's negative 1, 1, root 2. So tangent is opposite over adjacent, which make it negative 1. And then next would be pi, which tangent of pi is also 0. If you were to keep going, do 5 pi over 4, you get 1. 3 pi over 2, it's undefined. So you're going to have another asymptote at 3 pi over 2. 7 pi over 4, you get negative 1. And 2 pi, tangent of 2 pi is 0. The cycle repeats itself. So this is a period. From 0 to pi is a period. So to find your period for tangent and cotangent, you're going to do pi over b. Not 2 pi over b like we do to find the period of sine, cosine, cosecant, and secant. For a tangent and cotangent, to find the period, you're going to do pi over b, not 2 pi over b. So b is that number right in front of your x. So on our parent function, tangent of x, b is just 1. All right, so let's go graph this. We have 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi, 5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4, and 2 pi. Max is 1, and it's negative 1. Amplitude is the same. Our amplitude is 1, max is 1, is 1. Middle is 0. So at 0, we're at 0. At pi over 4, we're at 1. And at pi over 2, it's undefined, so we're going to have an asymptote at pi over 2. Then at 3 pi over 4, we're at negative 1. At pi, we're at 0. 5 pi over 4, we're at positive 1. And then again, 3 pi over 2, it's undefined, so we're going to have another asymptote. So when you graph this, it looks like a squiggle, kind of. So again, we have, if we're going to go to the left, this would be negative pi over 4. Should be down here, negative 1. And then negative pi over 2. Another asymptote. Whoa. There it goes. So it looks like these little squiggle things, asymptotes. There's asymptotes wherever it's undefined, and to find the period, you're going to do pi over b, not 2 pi over b, just pi over b. So that is your tangent parent function. Cotangent looks pretty similar, except your squiggles are just going to point in opposite directions. So let's graph our cotangent parent function. Y equals cotangent of x, which again, remember this is 1 over tangent of x. So you can kind of use your tangent t-chart to help you create your cotangent t-chart. So tangent of 0 is 0, so cotangent of 0 would be undefined. Cotangent of pi over 4 is still 1. Tangent of pi over 2 is undefined, so cotangent of pi over 2 is 0. 3 pi over 4 is still -1. Tangent of pi is 0. So cotangent of pi is undefined. So it's very similar, it's just the zeros and the undefineds are flipped. So we could keep going. So again, your period is pi. So to find the period of cotangent, you're going to do pi over b. So not 2 pi over b, just pi over b. Alright, so tick mark at pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi. We have an asymptote at 0. We've undefined it, 0. Undefined it, pi. We just go to the left, same amount. And then the asymptote at -pi. Our amplitude is 1, so our mass is 1. My min is -1. Pi over 4, or cotangent of pi over 4 is 1, cotangent of pi over 2 is 0, and cotangent of 3 pi over 4 is -1. And then the same process. I'm really not so good at connecting my points with lines, but the cotangent squiggle just points in the opposite. So here's tangent. It points upwards toward the right. Cotangent points upwards towards the left.